Hey.
Alright y'all, so yesterday I was just having, it was a normal day, I was doing some work, trying to get some stuff done. I decided, I'm a little tired, let me take a break, relax, lay back and watch some NBA Summer League. So I tuned in to the Charlotte Hornets versus the Portland Trailblazers, and as soon as I tune in, I see a player on the court and I'm like, hey, that guy looks kind of like Kenneth Faried, that's funny. Then after a Blazers guard drove to the rim and scored, I heard the announcer say, oh, what a bucket by Mudiay. And in my head, I'm saying, I only know one NBA player whose name is Mudiay, and that's Emmanuel Mudiay. So at this point, I'm interested, I'm intrigued. I go pull up the box score, and what do I find? I find that the Blazers are willingly employing 31-year-old Kenneth Faried, 32-year-old Michael Beasley, and 25-year-old Emmanuel Mudiay in the Summer League. And my only question is why? And for those of you who might not be familiar with Summer League, it's essentially a preseason where a whole bunch of draft nerds and NBA superfans gathered together in either Las Vegas, Sacramento, or Utah, and it's basically a glorified basketball camp. The point of the league is for younger players to get some experience and just get some realistic NBA reps, because during the regular season they might not be able to have those same opportunities, and essentially there is a hierarchy that goes as follows. At the top you have your top picks from the most recent draft. This is your Cade Cunningham, your Jalen Green, your Evan Mobley, your Jalen Suggs. Below that, you have your returning NBA players who are all rotational guys at some point in the season. These are your Peyton Pritchards, Tyrese Maxeys, your Emmanuel Quickleys. After that, you have your other lottery picks and first round talents from the most recent draft, which is like your Jonathan Kumingas, your James Bouknights, and your Davion Mitchells. Then the rest of the tiers goes as follows. You have your returning NBA players who ride bench most of the time, you have your G Leaguers, and then you have everyone else who's just getting an opportunity to play. Overall, the majority of players that play in these summer leagues are not NBA players and will probably never see an NBA roster in their lifetime. So I'll bring up my question again. Why on earth are the Portland Trailblazers wasting 3 roster spots on 3 guys who have been done with the NBA for some years now? Because on the one hand, I understand that a whole bunch of teams use the strategy of employing some older guys to just provide some veteran leadership, or they might just have a legitimate chance at making one of the G League or NBA rosters, and scouts want to get a look at them. But then on the other hand, Faried, Beasley, Mudiay are all guys who, like I said, have been done with the NBA for a few years now, and 1, should be too good for the Summer League in general, and 2, are most likely not making any NBA rosters. And so if they are there just for their veteran leadership, then my next question is, why are they getting so many minutes? During their first game, they all were starters and logged 20 plus minutes, which in Summer League is over half the game. And again, like these opportunities and touches and playing time could all be going towards guys who are younger, just need the experience, and actually have a legit chance at making a roster in the NBA. To me, the whole thing just seems very backwards and incorrect and wrong, but yeah, at the same time, it does push my agenda further that the Portland Trailblazers are just a trash organization, so at this point, I'm just going to accept it and not ask any further questions. And to be honest, I might have gone out and tricked y'all with the thumbnail and title with, the older guys, but I do want to talk about another group of players who probably should not be playing in the Summer League as well. But for completely different reasons, just to be clear. It's not going to be the same rant. This group of guys that I want to talk about, they're all returning NBA players, so at least sophomores going into this next season, and they're all guys who got a good amount of experience during their rookie years or just playing time in general, and in my opinion, just don't need to risk the injury or go out there and, again, just take minutes away from other potential roster guys. Because again, I understand wanting to get reps before the season starts, or maybe just work on some new facet of your game, but if you're going to come out here and just dominate the entire Summer League and go for MVP, then I think that's just detrimental to the rest of your roster at that point. And so if you ask me for the specific players, the full list, in my opinion, as of now, it would include Peyton Pritchard, Tyrese Maxey, Emmanuel Quickley, Patrick Williams, Saddiq Bey, Theo Maledon, RJ Hampton, and Cole Anthony. And like I said, all of these guys were rotational players for their respective teams for long stretches of their rookie seasons. Some of them even got a good amount of starts if you look at guys like Patrick Williams, Saddiq Bey, and Theo Maledon. But even if you look at someone like Tyrese Maxey, he was someone who was getting legit rotational minutes in the NBA playoffs, one of the most highly intensive basketball games and just environments that players can play in. And then he comes out, and in the Sixers' first game in the Summer League, he's on pace for 40 points by halftime. So my point remains, unless you're here just trying to work on a specific skill, I think a lot of these guys are simply just wasting their time and or just risking injury prior to the season, which is just going to be a whole bad scenario in itself if it does end up happening. Not to mention, again, the development teams for all these organizations are out here trying to find other talents. They know what they have in a lot of these, top tier guys, so they want to focus their time and let the guys who need the chance and need the reps get some experience and see what they have in them. Because at the end of the day, the main reason why people enjoy Summer League so much and constantly come back to it year after year is mostly because it's the first time that a lot of fans are able to see the new draftees play for their teams and their respective organizations, and it's just, that's a fun thing to watch. Plus, there's usually a pretty decent skill gap considering, again, the majority of players in summer leagues aren't NBA roster worthy guys, so those top picks and even the lottery guys usually look like star players out there, which again is just really enjoying and fun to watch. For example, I don't know if y'all caught the Rockets versus the Cavs matchup from a few days ago, but the atmosphere surrounding that game truly made it feel like it was just any old regular, mid-season primetime game. It was Evan Mobley and Isaac Okoro versus the new three-headed monster for the Rockets with Jalen Green, Josh Christopher, and Alperen Sengun. They were all trading buckets. Jalen Green was going at people's heads, hitting nasty step backs. Evan Mobley and Sengun were doing their best imitation of Prime Ewing and Olajuwon, just going at each other's throats in the post. The game was very, very seriously fun to watch. And if you were to ask me as an outside observer, what is the Summer League all about, I'd probably just point you towards that game itself. I'd tell you to go watch that, report back to me, and just tell me how much of a blast you had. Because at the end of the day, that's what NBA fans want to see during these games. They want to see the new young talent go up against the other new young talent because, again, it's fresh blood. It's guys they haven't seen before. They want to be surprised. They want to be shocked. They want to have some emotions get elicited out of them. What they don't want to see is returning NBA players dominate. Unless that player is on your team, then you are probably pretty excited for that. But what they especially don't want to see is expired NBA players attempting to make some sort of comeback or just come be a veteran for their team and take up a bunch of minutes because they just don't care at this point. So with that being said, I very much encourage y'all to tune in to the Pistons versus Rockets game that's going to be happening later tonight because it should be a good treat. This new look Rockets team should be a whole lot of fun to continue to watch. Plus they're going up against a Pistons team that has a whole lot of talent as well with Cade Cunningham, as I've already mentioned. They also still have Sadiq Bey if he continues to play, Killian Hayes. Sekou Demboya was looking like a legit defensive anchor in their first game. Pretty crazy stuff. But at the end of it all, it's the number 1 overall pick versus the number 2 overall pick from this most recent draft. And I just hope that they can deliver another summertime classic because, again, that's what the fans want to see from the Summer League. And if you've made it to this point in the video, then congratulations, you're a real one. Now, if you enjoyed this video, maybe think about hitting the subscribe button. It should be somewhere in this general direction. Or if you're not sure yet, maybe check out another video which should be in this general direction. Either way, thank you for watching.